Hey guys, how's it going? Preparing here. So today I'm going to show you guys where I've come with my Diablo 3 character and a few tips because, some people, they're picking up the game for the first time. It may surprise some of you guys, but this is the case, and I thought I'd show you guys, at the very least, kind of how the system goes, kind of what you need to do to get to and experience all the content in the game right now. So this is my character, this is the Raniushka. We got 204 Paragon levels in 51 hours. And 51 hours, if you're not familiar with Diablo 3, is basically nothing. I mean, if you guys remember when Paragon system came out, most of the people who got like Paragon 100, they were around 1,000 hours, but just ridiculous stuff. So this is nothing. This is like PlayStation Hit of the Week number of hours played still. And my character, I mean, I pretty much did just about everything. I'll show you guys the gear, I'll show you guys the character. I've been doing very well. I did a level 30 Rift earlier, Greater Rift, and it was, it wasn't easy, but, we finished with a lot of time left, and it was good. And clearly, I've gotten pretty lucky with this character, but I think even with terrible luck, you'll do just fine. I mean, this is the second really good weapon I've found. I've found 2 full sets of Marauders at least. I've crafted some stuff, I have a lot of gold, good stuff. I mean, there are my stats. I'm using 6-piece Marauders, I'm using the Ring of Royal Grandeur to reduce the requirement by 1. So I can use 3-piece Blackthorns in 2 items, I can use 3-piece Augilds in 2 items, I can use 6-piece Marauders in 5 items, so this ring is extremely valuable. I have an SOJ, but I'm using this Bulkatos just because of the stats. And, well, I need a little bit of healing. You saw the bow. The bow is pretty much the best thing ever. I got pretty lucky to get it. I got pretty lucky to get this roll, I know. But even if it was the worst possible Kreider shot ever, it's still, just fine. Whatever. Quiver. Another thing that needs some explaining is the gems. Bane of the Powerful, Bane of the Trapped. You guys know these are pretty much the best 2 gems for this build. This build is based around the Marauder carapace. It's called the M6 build. Sentries cast your equipped hatred spenders. So my sentries, these things, these turrets, these invincible little dudes, they cast elemental arrow, cluster arrow, multi-shot. So they're basically a better version of me because they take no damage. I can put them wherever I want. They don't have hatred limitations, and they have damage bonuses from things like sentry, things like my shoulders, things like, my chest. And a lot of people who do that use the pet gem, but I chose to use the poison gem because all enemies you poison take 10% increased damage from all sources, which is in fact the best gem to have in a group, and no one else was leveling it. And the first bonus of dealing 3,000 weapon damage for hitting a target once is also pretty good as well. So I don't use the pet gem. I think it's the worst of the 3. Took that out, put in this one. That's my character. I have pretty much everything this character can, raffle stomp the game. And today I'm going to tell you guys some tips on how I got here. So when you're playing a game, or specifically Diablo for the first time, the most important thing, if you don't know exactly what you're doing, is you pick something that people commonly regard as overpowered. You take the risk of it being nerfed, sure, but if it's still pretty close to the other classes, which in this case Demon Hunter was, you want to pick Demon Hunter. And you want to do that because, well, it's powerful. In fact, it's maybe a little overpowered, and as a result, you will get a lot of groups. Going to the second point on how to be successful in D3, you want to find groups. And this is a little bit of a problem if you pick like a tank barbarian or some shit if you're back in 2012. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be playing what's overpowered right now. So people will gladly invite you to their group because group play in Diablo 3 is an absolute joke. Back in the 2012, in the original days, solo play was an absolute joke. You could not group play because it made the game so much harder, but they've changed things around significantly to the point where group play is now really easy. It's, in my opinion, 4 characters of the same gear level who can do, like, let's say Torment 1 by themselves, can probably do Torment 2 to maybe even 3 at a very similar difficulty, and the scaling between those is huge. So if you guys know Diablo, you guys know how significant that is. So it's very important to do that. Now, a few more pretty specific tips. It's pretty easy to gear up, but you kind of have to know how to do it. So the second you hit 70, if you're playing OP class specifically these days, you can go to Torment pretty much right away, but you have to know that you need some kind of crit multiplier stuff. In Diablo 3 in its current state, it's really easy to get this stuff with the reforging, and you should get it because it's really the only way to scale your damage past a certain point, and that point is pretty low to begin with. Also, some gems are very valuable, and I've shown you guys how easy it is to do low-level rifts. So, you know, do a few rifts, get a Greater Rift Stone, get some of those, you know, low-level rift gems, the legendary gems. If you get like the poison one, for instance, the poison gem by itself with like garbage gear will kill stuff on Torment 1 for you, just by itself. That dot, you hit stuff, it dots, you go to the next pack, it'll probably be dead. So it's very easy to get this minimum level of gear, and to push to the next level of gear is also pretty easy. The bounties have been buffed today, in fact, to where it's much more likely to get items from the loot bags. So do the bounties, you gotta do them anyway, you gotta get the rift stones anyway, do them on like Torment 1 at the very least. And it's also good if you can party up to do this, because partying for bounties is much easier than doing them by yourself. So party up, do the bounties, get the easy legendaries. Once your character is legendaried up, doesn't matter if they're complete trash or the best stuff, you'll be able to do Torment 1, probably Torment 2, maybe even Torment 3, just fine. If you need help filling in some slots, you know, don't burn through all your materials when you craft, when you enchant, that kind of stuff, because very frequently, at least to my expertise, you will find a lot of recipes. They are fairly common even when you don't play Torment. You know, I found a lot. I think captains, whatever, it's like the first item I found and I hit 70. So I put that, I crafted all the pieces, and I had, you know, pretty much legendary equivalent slots in three slots. So it was very good stuff. And yeah, game's pretty fun. You follow those tips, you'll pretty much get to a point where you have very respectable gear, you have some connections in the game, you know who to party with, you know who's good, people will probably know you, probably know where you're at, and from that point on, you know, you up the Torment difficulty if it seems too quick to kill monsters, and once you got most of the gear from Torment, it's very efficient to do rifts in like Torment 4, Torment 5, if you can do them quickly enough. If you're at that stage, you'll quickly get the gear you need to push and finish all the greater rifts that you want. So that's the idea. That's the game in a nutshell. It's pretty much a 1 to 2 week experience, but it's a good one. So have at it. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.